Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
So
we want to first apologise for the long absence. Even this will go out. Actually, it's going to go out today, Wednesday, whatever the date is, 16th. But we want to apologise. 17th, there you go. Because, do you want to say why?
You're doing pretty good.
Oh, sorry. Okay, because we've moved now. We live in America.
La 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 America.
New York, to be precise. We're here today. If you can recognise the backdrop, we're in Matchless Gifts.
22nd Avenue, to be precise.
Where it all began. This is like the hub, you could say, of the spiritual world, if you have the eyes to see. And so this is where we're reading today, and it's extremely cold, as you can see by the way we're dressed. But the reason we left on Friday last week, and it was just, as you can imagine, all over the place. Jet lag, homesick, jet lag, like that. So we are back on track now. So thank you all our loyal viewers for hanging in there.
Yay, thank you.
Well, hope you're hanging there anyway.
Yes. Just, it's cold here. It means it snowed yesterday, the first snow they had in New York that's stayed on the ground, and it's still out on the ground.
Just for us.
It's like easily below 0 centigrade.
Yeah.
Here. So anyway, we're just in like the holiest of holy places.
Absolutely.
Here, 26nd Avenue, where Srila Prabhupada started everything.
Yeah.
In 1966.
This is where he sat.
This is where he sat, and it's a small room. So we hope to be doing lots of readings around the area, but as cold as it is, it's hard to be outside.
Yeah.
It's even hard to be inside.
Yeah.
But enough chatter. We're here to read from the Bhagavatam, so we're going to pick up where we left off.
So it's Canto 4, Chapter 12, Text 1. Dhruva Maharaj goes back to Godhead.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Imagine saying that here. Prabhupada did so many sacrifices to write these books. He came with a couple of cantos initially.
Well, first canto.
First canto.
3 parts.
And like, how many, 50 odd years, no, coming up to 60 years later, here we are, chanting, taking it for granted with these books that are available in abundance, his books, like doing a YouTube channel. I don't think YouTube was invented actually.
No, it wasn't invented.
Now we're reading Bhagavatam on YouTube, all because of Srila Prabhupada, who came to this place we're in now, and all the and I cannot fathom that, because I'm looking, there's some amazing pictures from the time from here. And when I was sitting across over there and I was looking at the wall, you can see the way he's dressed in his sannyas cloth, and he has like, eventually someone gave him a winter coat, but if you read Leela Amrita, Satswat Maharaj explains how cutting and biting that New York winter was for him, walking about. When he came, it wasn't like he was fully equipped with winter clothes, and I just thought, oh my God,
I remember it was like the first time you saw snow when you came here.
And he thought they painted or
I think this is more of a Bhakti Vision that we're doing now rather than a reading of Bhagavatam. So I'm going to strongly request that we...
Oh? Okay.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Canto 1. The great sage Maitreya said, "My dear Vidura, Dhruva Maharaj's anger subsided and he completely ceased killing yakshas. When Kuvera, the most blessed master of the treasury, learned this news, he appeared before Dhruva. While being worshipped by yakshas, kinnaras and charanas, he spoke to Dhruva Maharaj, who stood before him with folded hands. Text 2. The master of the treasury, Kuvera, said, O sinless son of a Kshatriya, I am very glad to know that under the instruction of your grandfather, you have given up your enmity. Although it is very difficult to avoid, I am very pleased with you. Text 3. Actually, you have not killed the yakshas, nor have they killed your brother. For the ultimate cause of generation and annihilation is the eternal time feature of the Supreme Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When the master of the treasury addressed him as sinless, Dhruva Maharaj, considering himself responsible for killing so many yakshas, might have thought himself otherwise. Kuvera, however, assured him that factually he had not killed any of the yakshas, therefore he was not at all sinful. He did his duty as a king, as it is ordered by the laws of nature. Nor should you think that your brother was killed by the yakshas, said Kuvera. He died or was killed in due course of time by the laws of nature. Eternal time, one of the features of the Lord, is ultimately responsible for annihilation and generation. You are not responsible for such actions. Interesting, because while we can accept that it's true that time is quite an amazing factor in itself, and Krishna says time I am in the Bhagavad Gita,
The destroyer of men.
and I was just speaking to one devotee yesterday about something they were dealing with, and we were concluding that time will heal. It's time that if you give it time, what they're dealing with, it will heal you. And I was thinking, how powerful this time is, because it destroys, but it also heals. It allows you to move on. Life goes on. So that's all very well, but I'm reading this, and I mean, if I'm Dhruva, obviously I'm not, and he's dealing with it better because he is on a higher platform. If you've had someone die, family member, kid, and that too, not just die because it's natural you die, but murdered, brutally killed, and then you're told, listen, anyway, your enemies, because in this case the yakshas or his enemies, they didn't kill him anyway, okay? It was the Supreme Lord through time, and it was meant to happen, and I'm reading it like that, and so it wouldn't comfort me as such. I mean, well, not in the moment or not then. Eventually, because we kind of, to an extent, the philosophy, you're going to die, everyone goes through these things and like that. But time, place, and circumstance. It's like, I don't know. Initially, it's not an easy pill to swallow, and you don't want to hear it, and it's not always sensitive to say it straight away. Come on, man, the wheel of time is going on, they were going to go anyway, and this person who beat up your family member or whatever, don't worry about it, they're not bad people, because it's just time, it's just the Lord at the end of the day. Now you're going to go and have a go at the Lord. It's interesting. I'm saying it, for me, I'm reading it, it's complex, but I appreciate, because obviously I'm not on the level of Dhruva or anyone like that, but I can understand it philosophically. That's what I'm saying. I get it philosophically, but from the heart it would be hard pill to swallow.
And it can be like that, right? Philosophy sometimes touches the mind or the intellect, but it doesn't really soothe the heart necessarily. But what actually impressed me about this is, from the other side, the yakshas are are related to Kuvera, right? So he's like the lord of the yakshas, if I'm not mistaken. And really, he should have been quite peeved off himself, but he wasn't. When he came, and he holds a higher position because he's a demigod. He's the treasurer of the demigods, and so that's certainly a higher position than Dhruva Maharaj, who at that point was a king, probably like an emperor of Bharat. But Kuvera comes and congratulates him, thanks him, recognizing that your nature is such that this probably wasn't easy for you to kind of relent and come to a point where you didn't kill all of them because they killed you. So, I think that's great, is what he said. I think it's amazing. Congratulations. Then I found that he appeases him, knowing that the reason he would have stopped is because he started to understand that what I was doing wasn't right. So what I got from it was that Kuvera was then saying to Dhruva Maharaj, don't worry, it's okay. You didn't actually kill the Yakshas. I'm not taking offense. I'm not seeing it that you were here killing them. I'm understanding that it was the time factor itself, which is Kala or Krishna. Krishna is eternal time. And at the same time, it wasn't the Yakshas that killed your brother either. So I found it quite the way, it must have been occurring for Dhruva Maharaj is, look, here's Kuvera, this great personality. Before that, who was it? It was Swayambhuva Manu, right? Who was there trying to tell him, Swayambhuva Manu was telling him that, you gotta let go, and he gave a whole philosophical treatise of, why you should do it. But I just thought that was pretty far out, that Kuvera was like, I'm proud of you, I think it's great, and don't worry, it's okay. Don't be upset, you didn't kill them, time did, and time killed your brother. But I totally get your point, but somehow I was reading it, but I was reading it like that. It's pretty interesting. And
we all approach it in different ways. It's okay.
That is what's glorious. Text number 4. Misidentification of oneself and others as I and you on the basis of the bodily concept of life is a product of ignorance. This bodily concept is the cause of repeated birth and death, and it makes us go on continuously in the material existence. So misidentification of oneself and others as I and you on the basis of bodily is a product of ignorance. This bodily concept is the cause. So because of this bodily conditioning, this is what perpetuates our rebirths. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. The conception of I and you, aham, tvam, is separate from each other. Is due to our forgetfulness of eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Person, Krishna, is the central point, and all of us are his parts and parcels, just as hands and legs are parts and parcels of the whole body. When we actually come to this understanding of being eternally related to the Supreme Lord, this distinction, which is based on the bodily concept of life, cannot exist. The same example can be cited herewith. The hand is the hand and the leg is the leg. But when both of them engage in the service of the whole body, there is no such distinction as hands and legs, for all of them belong to the whole body, and all the parts working together constitute the whole body. Similarly, when the living entities are in Krishna consciousness, there is no such distinction as I and you, because everyone is engaged in the service of the Lord. Since the Lord is absolute, the services are also absolute. Even though the hand is working one way and the leg is working in another way, since the purpose is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are all one. This is not to be confused with the statement by the Mayavadi philosopher that everything is one. Interesting. Real knowledge is that hand is hand, leg is leg, body is body, and yet altogether they are one. As long as the living entity thinks that he is independent, his conditional material existence begins. The conception of independent existence is therefore like a dream. One has to be in Krishna consciousness, his original position. Then he can be freed from material bondage. What a wonderful purport. So Srila Prabhupada here is stressing so many points. First, the whole principle of I and you, and Prabhupada hones in on I and you like we're different, which we are, but at the same time, this misidentification of understanding our ultimate connectedness with Krishna, which means ultimately we're connected with everything in one way, shape, or form, which is really the kind of mentality and consciousness that we need the world to have to deal with issues such as environmental issues, where we don't see that we're actually connected with the environment, and therefore we try to rape Mother Bhumi, exploiting her resources and things like that. So this consciousness is very powerful, and Prabhupada kind of stresses on it, hand is hand, leg is leg, body is body, but all together we're one. But we're not one as if we lose our original identity, and that everything is one, but we're one in purpose, one in connectedness, one in origin, like that. And do you want to read one more or stop there?
We'll stop here now and then we'll reconvene.
All right. So we'll see you all later. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay with us. We're going to be doing some more readings here at Matchless Gifts, 26 2nd Avenue. And if anyone's coming to New York anytime soon, you have to visit Matchless Gifts. It's incredible.
Let us know.
2nd
We
Avenue.
can say hello and bring you here.
Yeah. Haribol.
Hare Krishna.